All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is the Meet the Pressers Riding Shotgun with Charlie live show. It is great. We've already got some viewers here, which is awesome. We have our guest hiding right now. But Matt and I are going to check in. What's been going on, man? What's been happening with you?
It's been busy trying to get the farm ready for the season. I got the garden expanded, made it bigger. Decided not to do pumpkins this year, which is good because that's a time suck. You know, we got a generator getting installed tomorrow and moving the RV on Wednesday. So just trying to get everything ready. The flowers are popping, the bees are flying. So what about you?
That there's an RV, Clark. Busy, man. Busy. I've been teaching classes. Classes seem to be picking up. So people are taking more licensing courses, which is fabulous. This coming weekend, I'm actually going down to New Jersey. I'm emceeing an event with the Coalition of New Jersey Firearm Owners and the Women for Gun Rights New Jersey. So that's what I got going on this weekend. That's going to be a whole... I don't want to say it's going to be an ordeal, but I'm heading down to Jersey to hang out with John Petrolino, the Penn Patriot, on Thursday. And then Friday, I'm going to do an interview. Then I'm going to pick someone up at the Philly airport and bring them back to the hotel in Jersey. And Friday night, somebody. I can't say who. So I'm doing that on Friday night. And then Saturday, I think I'm going to do some interviews. And Saturday night's going to be the event at the Mansion in Voorhees Township, New Jersey. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, are you going to be at the NRA annual meeting? I can't remember if we talked about that.
We did. I don't know if we talked about it or not, but I wasn't sure if I was going to go, but I like to look at the flights, and I found a couple of flights that I thought were an acceptable price. So I booked a flight there, and then about 3 days later, I booked a flight back. So yes, I shall be going to Dallas in the middle of May in a month. So
very cool. Well, I'm glad to see it. Steve asked how many hives. We went into the winter with 12. We came out of the winter with 9, and 3 were weak. So we lost them recently, and I redid them. So we got 9. We're at 9 right now, 6 strong and 3 weak. So hopefully Friday, I'm hoping to get out there. We got a gun show this weekend in Syracuse, so I'm hoping to get out there and be able to split the 6 strong ones out into 3 more, and we'll be back up to 12, and hopefully they all stay. My goal is to get up to 18 or 20 by the end of this year, going into the fall is the goal. But,
cool, man.
That's the buzz.
That is the buzz. Oh, geez. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? No, that's Jesus Christ Superstar. You recognize that? No.
No, I don't remember that one. Dad jokes.
Okay. Dad jokes.
Or bad jokes.
Let's bring our guests in. First, we are going to bring in Robyn Sandoval. I always say Sandoval, but Robyn Sandoval. Robyn Sandoval with a girl and a gun, and they're one of their instructors, Tatiana Whitlock.
Hello.
Hi. How are you? How you been?
Very good. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys.
It's great to be seen. So where are you ladies at? I know Robyn's on the road. I'm not sure if Tatiana's on the road yet or not.
Not yet. I'm still up here in Maine, holding down the north.
Yeah.
Right. I have some friends that call Maine. They're like Maine, the south of the north.
Depends on where you go.
Well, it's awesome. And Robyn, where are you?
I am in Grand Junction, Colorado. I just arrived yesterday to start planning for our national conference, which we will have over 10 days. We're in 10 days away. So I've got 10 days to get it ready for over 1,000 ladies that are coming out to hang out with us. So yeah, I just landed today. So if my Wi-Fi is spotty, it's because this Airbnb does not have Wi-Fi. So we're just doing the best we can.
That's quite all right. So let's talk about this. So you have your conference coming up. Which conference is this? You've been doing this. You ladies have been doing this for a while.
Yeah, this is our 12th annual conference, and we'll have 706 students and over 100 staff and instructors coming out. It's going to be our biggest event yet. We'll have about 980 people checking in on Thursday.
Wow, that is incredible. Congratulations. That's a lot of people to organize.
I'm excited to be there this year.
It is.
We've been talking talking about it a little bit, and you know, it's been quite a few years we've been going back and forth about them coming out. So I'm excited to do the force on force and less lethal classes for you guys. I'm looking forward to it. I got the list of students that are going to be in my classes, so I got to shoot them out an email and tell them to come with an open mind and be ready to have fun and learn.
They are excited. They very, very excited. Those types of classes with somebody like you who's qualified to teach it really take it to the next level. And they are some phenomenal shooters. So get ready for a great group of ladies.
Good. Looking forward to it.
All right. That's what's so special about our conference is it's not just shooting. It's not just pistols, rifles, shotguns. It is decision making. It is less lethal and non-lethal. We have the whole gamut of things from gunsmithing to legal topics, to archery, to long range, to everything in between. And that's what makes conference a pretty unique experience.
I've seen pictures of this previous conferences. Is there going to be some AR shooting from a helicopter?
Yep.
Tatiana shaking her head.
Yes. The ladies who get to do helicopter. It is like they walk out and there's just this visible glow after that whole experience. It's just energizing, awesome. And it's the biggest endorphin dopamine thing ever. And they'll talk about it for an entire year, and then they'll get right back in line to get back in the helicopter the next year and do it again. It's a pretty unique experience.
That is awesome. That is unbelievable.
No, I've got a very important question.
This year we have a different bird coming out.
Ooh.
What bird's that, Robyn? Can you say without having to like?
There's a different bird. I don't know the specific official name of it, but I know it's the same Black Hawk Down kind of helicopter that they use, and they're shooting precision rifles out this year, so not just ARs. So they're doing more high power, long range stuff. So it's going to be a lot of really unique, even more unique experience.
That's awesome.
That is very cool. That is.
I was going to say my important question is: do any of the instructors get to do the helicopter stuff?
We can make arrangements for that depending on when you arrive. If you can come in on Sunday, we can get you in the bird.
He said he's got to leave early. He's got to come late. He's going to leave early. He's not getting on. This is not going to happen.
I'm in and out next year.
Next year.
I have to.
Absolutely. All right. So what other kind of things are the ladies going to be doing at the Girl and a Gun conference this year, besides flying in helicopters and shooting rifles?
We have a packed schedule. To kind of kick things off, however, is we begin with about 200 of our leadership from across the country who are going to spend a day developing their skills, becoming stronger communicators, growing their chapters. We have a day focused just on them. Both our facilitators and our A team get to join us for that. And I'm really excited about this year's content and material. We've got some wonderful things planned for them. Then we have a day followed by lectures. So we call it Early Bird Lecture Day. So for our participants who show up a day ahead of our check-in range day, we have a day packed with some outstanding speakers. Robyn, can you list them off for us, as their names are not right in front of me?
Well, it starts the day with you, Tatiana Whitlock, and then we have Ed Monk is doing his talk on active shooters. It's the best talk on this subject in the country. Then Mike Ox is doing his presentation on red dot mastery and how your brain neurology works with your eyes to pick up the dot faster based on his book. And then John Holshin is our keynote talking about real world training and how training on the range can be directly applied to real world situations and some things to keep in mind. So it's a great day to get these ladies kind of turn off your home mom work brain and really focus on, now I'm in a new environment where I can focus on me and training and growing and learning and to see friends that they haven't seen in a year. So that whole day is set up for them to take in a lot of new information to set them up for success for the next 4 days.
Nice. That sounds awesome. I'm excited. Like a lot of the people that are watching and listening are saying they're excited to be back there. I'm excited to be there the first time. So anything as far as instructors like myself for the first time. Go ahead.
Yeah, so wait till you see demo day. So on Thursday, that's the kickoff day, and that's our biggest day. That's the only day when we allow guests on site. Some husbands can come and see what we're up to, and all of our sponsors and vendors and friends come out that day. And that's when we have a retail village, we have our pro shop, we have demos going on. So all of our sponsors will have demo ammo. They'll be showing their new lines that they're debuting. And it's a really incredible experience, because where else can you see 1,000 women who have invested in their gear and their training and excited about being there and seeing these new firearms and giving their feedback to those sponsors and friends. And, you know, last year, what was really exciting is Mossberg actually came out with a new SKU based on their experience at our event. So in the one day, having 1,000 women go through, they noticed that one shotgun had a length of pull that was a little too long for many of the attendees. So they went back and getting that feedback from women to know what their interests are, what their passions are, what their needs and wants are, their goals for shooting, is not only a great time for us to share them with our sponsors, but for our sponsors to really connect with them. So that whole day on Thursday, they'll spend time on the range just having a great time with our supporters.
Very cool. Exciting. Very exciting. You know, events like this, there's so many events around the country that are, you know, that so many great people are putting together. And this is one that I wanted to be part of for a while, and, you know, threw my name in the hat many years ago. And I'm excited and glad to be at it. And the hard thing is every year I got to say, I really try to only travel no more than once a month out of New York State. I mean, I have the luxury that I do so well teaching here in New York that I don't have to travel as much. And, you know, but next year, if you'll have me back, hopefully, well, obviously you'll decide that after I come and teach. But, you know, hopefully if I can come back again next year, then, you know, it'll be an annual thing. And there's not many annual things other than like SHOT Show, Great American Outdoor Show, that I do on an annual basis, because I feel like it's someplace that I have to be. And I think this is one that I have to be at annually.
We get amazing feedback from our participants, but we also really cherish the feedback we get from our guest instructors. And so many of them share the sentiment that a girl and a gun is what kind of recharges their batteries for another year's worth of training on the road. It's a lot of work. You know, people underestimate just how much of a demand it is to be a traveling trainer, how much that asks of you, of your family. It's a lot. So, you know, not every trip is, you know, filled with love. Sometimes it's a challenge, you know, traveling, just the logistics of traveling make it a real challenge. It can wear you down. So coming to A Girl and a Gun reminds folks of just, you know, you're surrounded by the most ideal students you could ask for. These are some ladies who come with notepads. You don't have to remind them. They've got a notepad for every class. They've got notes and colors and highlight. I mean, like, they're the most skilled note takers I've ever seen. It's kind of amazing. They come well prepared. They have everything they need. They read the course description. Oh my gosh, be still now. You know, they come prepared and they come with the questions. Like, they're eager and hungry to learn. And that's what, you know, feeds us. That's what makes us invested in going forward and doing the work that we do. So the feedback from the trainers and what they take away from it is so invaluable.
So to that point, not to put you guys on the spot, but can you recall any feedback from any students where they gathered something from one of the trainings and then applied it in actual life that maybe saved their life, or that was just a good aha moment, maybe kept them out of danger because of something that they learned in the training? Anything come to mind?
I would say that there's too many to list. That happens all the time. That happens at not just conference, but at many of our events. We hear feedback from ladies all the time. I get emails constantly of a time when they heard something from one of our instructors and it saved their life. As far as a specific example, a couple come to mind, but really there are dozens and dozens of these stories, ladies that followed their instinct. And I think that's the biggest thing for us as instructors to share with them is, you know more than you think you know. You have the confidence, you have the skills. Just be a good witness, pay attention, have situational awareness, and avoid a situation. And honestly, that happens a lot. I'm very proud of our girls for taking the knowledge. Like Tatiana says, they take notes, they're passionate about it. They go back to their hotels and they all sit around and they share what they learned with each other. And sometimes that camaraderie can not only reinforce what they learned, but it shares that knowledge across a greater community that if they didn't get to take the class, they still got the knowledge. And so it really is a very passionate crowd, and they love to learn and they love to share what they've learned. So our instructors definitely save lives and change lives.
Yeah. And in one sense, we want to say that's awesome that they learn that information, but in another sense, it's also a bad world we live in where they have to actually worry about that. So, you know, and with our students, and I know Tatiana too, with the students that you have, they don't know what they don't know. They come to us as instructors. They want to get that knowledge and then hopefully never have to use it. But if they use it, then at least hopefully it does prevail, and they prevail because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
You know, one of the things that you two do that I think is great is you guys are traveling all over the country, and you guys take.
I think what's really amazing though is that.
Go. Sorry.
No, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh, well, I was just going to say.
No, what is really amazing is we hear stories time after time where life on the range, like that experience on the range, translates into so many areas of their lives. So it's not just a self-defense situation. You're not just equipping her for that scary parking lot or that situation she might be in. You're equipping her for her life to maybe try something new she's never tried before because of the confidence she experienced on the range, to go somewhere, to take a trip and take a gun on through TSA and get on a plane and go across the country and go to a training event and do something she thought she never had the courage or ability to do. So it's not just about the time on the range. It's really about that whole experience. A lot of these women have never traveled without their husbands before. They've never gone outside of the state before. They've never taken a firearm on a road before, or on a plane before. So just having the courage to know you can do it, that we're going to walk you through it, and that you have the skills and ability to be stronger than you think. It's not just that scary situation that we're changing their lives with. It's all of their lives across the board. That it just, a Girl in a Gun helps ladies live their best life in a lot of different ways.
I think the the empowering aspect of them never, like that's pretty profound. They've never traveled before. This is the first time they've been away from the family, away from their husbands, etc. And they get out there and they do that. That right there is empowering enough for them to go back and it could be life changing. Where a bad guy comes up to them and sees them as a weak target and starts saying something to them or directing. I mean, profoundly. I remember, Tatiana, the story you told in the class when I certified you as a USCCA instructor. I mean, that right there at the store when you came out with your kids, I tell that in my classes to my students, because you have to have that mindset of, yes, I have a firearm, but is there another way to do it? I like to say, do you have a MacGyver way to get out of it? Use your brain, use your voice, try to find another way out of it, so you don't have to use the gun, because in your point, you don't want it to be traumatic to your kids. So if I can get out of it another way, and that's just so cool to hear you say that, Robyn.
It is.
I'm reading all the comments as they pop up, and it makes me so proud that so many women have experience.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's so many comments coming in from people all over the country that have been to a Girl in a Gun conference before and are nervous and scared and excited about going this year for the first time.
We've got a lot of new folks.
Yeah, we
here.
do a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of emails. They're getting a lot of encouragement. They're meeting with their chapters back at home and going over their gear they need. And they've got, a lot of support locally and nationally. It's a pretty awesome event. So when they get there, it's like a big family reunion by the time everyone shows up. Yes,
there's a lot of hugs. A lot of hugs. Even the people who aren't huggers find themselves hugging. It's kind of great. It's phenomenal. And why is that possible? Because the culture of a Girl in a Gun creates a safe environment to learn. And that the word vulnerability might seem a little overwhelming, but at the same time, it's very true. You're not going to be an honest learner if you think you have to prove something to someone. And conferences, for many ladies, the first opportunity they have had a training experience where everyone surrounding them is truly an honest learner. They just want to absorb. No one's there to prove anything, win a coin, win a patch, gain some status symbol. They're there truly for personal development. And that allows you the bandwidth to just relax and take it in.
And that makes a good point too, as far as it makes it a lot easier for instructors if they want to learn. Because I know there's classes, like I just did a class this weekend. I had 26 students in it for the New York State license. Last weekend I did a class. I had 25 students in the class. And you start out with a class where people are like, the state's making me take the class. you know, and you got to like beat through that facade. You got to get through that hard shell of and actually try to have true learning begin. So it's neat that you'd go to a class where you have students that want to learn, they want to be there, they whip out their notepads and they're taking judicious notes. So that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
The comment I just pulled up was from my sister. When she was down in Spartanburg, she called me. I'm going to throw her right under the bus, which is a funny story here. But she called me up and said she bought a gun, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome! What did you buy?" And she said, "A purple one." And I'm like,
just the color.
Right. Do you have something I can use, like a caliber or a brand? And I said, you need to go check out A Girl and a Gun. And there was one in Spartanburg, and she went and had a great time, took a lesson with somebody, found out she needed to get a bigger gun, bought a bigger gun, and then she moved across the country. And it's like she's in the middle of Kansas right now. And there's not a lot to offer out there. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we don't have a chapter there yet, but we will soon enough. And we know people in that area, so we can still give her some guidance and help. But a lot of girls will come to us, not just our national conference, but we have events throughout the year. We have quarterly events where ladies travel to us, destination getaways. We have our girls getaways. So there's a lot of opportunities that even if people don't have a chapter in their area, or for all the 500 ladies that were on the conference waiting list and aren't able to join us this next week, there's a lot of other events that they can participate in. And we have a lot of virtual events too. Every other week we have a virtual event going on as well. So there's a lot of opportunities for no matter where you are to join in with A Girl and a Gun.
Yeah, that was my surprise that you guys had so many. When I went on the website and started looking at different things that you guys had on there just to be more familiar with the organization, I was taken back with how many different events and chapters across the country you guys have. So kudos to that. The waiting list that you guys have, is that anybody who's interested listening now that obviously is just hearing about it for the first time or is looking to do it in the future, what's the possibility if somebody got on a waiting list now that they'd get in at the next year's, or are you looking 2 years out? What's kind of the layout of that?
So the ladies who attend this year get to register a month earlier than everyone else. So they will register on August 1st if they want to come back again next year. And then on September 1st, it opens up nationwide. We sold out in about 18 hours. So we had 706 spots. It only had 706 because I couldn't turn it off fast enough at 700. So 706 students, tickets were sold in 18 hours. And then the waiting list started. So we had 500 on the waiting list at this point because I'm here on the ground. Registration is closed. I'm not even, if there are any cancellations, I'm not opening them up. There were some cancellations and those tickets were taken right away by ladies on the waiting list. So everyone can look for that September 1st opening. It opens at midnight on September 1st, midnight Eastern time. So mark your calendar and go to agirlandagun.org/conference and you can try and get a ticket, be one of the first, or get on the waiting list then too.
Cool. Awesome. I want to bring this question up from gun websites. He said he hasn't been there, but how much larger can this event get at the facility that you're using right now?
Well, we outgrew all the ranges in Texas, so we had to move to this facility in Colorado, which is incredible. The people at Cameo are fantastic. It's amazing. We have 65 training areas. So we have 65 simultaneous training sessions going on at one time. And then ladies rotate through 6 different sessions. So 65 training areas. We're taking over the whole thing. It is fortunate that it's on a mountain. So there are some kind of little areas by, natural erosion where I guess we could clear it out and do some sims or do some archery or do some other things. So I know that the guys at Cameo want to keep expanding and they want us to bring more. We are the largest event that they have there. On our demo day, I expect more than 1,800 people to show up on that day. So we're their largest event. I think we could probably open it up a little more, but all of our classes are very small. We keep all of our student to instructor ratio very low so that all of those girls have a really great experience. So most of our classes will have 6 to 10 to 12 to 16 students, and that's it. We don't want to have a class that's too large because these ladies only get 3 hours. 3 hours of a class that may be normally a 2, 3, or 5 day class. This is just a little snippet of time. So we want those ladies to have that dedicated time with that instructor to learn about this topic, kind of get some chance to do some repetitions and gain mastery on that. So we keep the student count pretty low. That's why we don't just open it up to everyone.
And I think that's smart to do that. By doing that, you keep it more of a niche. You keep it more of a the first come first serve. You're getting people that really want to do it. So having that core, it's smart. It's really smart to have it that way and keep it capped. No matter how big the range can get.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's tempting. I want to have everybody there. I'd love to have a conference with 4,000 people, but that doesn't create the best learning experience. And at the end of the day, it's about what our girls learn, they take home, they apply to their lives. And that's a mission of a Girl in the Gun. And it's something we have to stay true to and value. It's more than just tickets. It's really about lives and people and our community.
We're doing a fun gun shoot. So I have my SOT. So I just built my first full auto 5.56. I'm working on a AK, MP5, and a few other guns I'm building. And we're going to do that in May. We're doing it. I'm capping it at 20. I don't want more than that. I just want a nice small group of my students, people that have trained with me in the past, kind of open it up to my students. And so it should be a good few hours on a Saturday, just shooting full auto 3-round bursts of press guns.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like fun.
That sounds like a great time.
It does. So someone just asked here what the code was, and if you want to enter to win the SIRT pistol or the Mantis X10, you should go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway, and the code is AGAG, and we will put you in for the drawing this month. We're going to have 2 winners. One of them is going to get the SIRT pistol, and one of the other one is going to get the Mantis X10.
Yep. And we want to thank both Mantis and Next Level Training for their support of our live show, Charlie and Mai's combined live show for these couple of years we've been doing it. They've been here since the beginning, so we thank them for all their support. So check them out and give them your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you to Mantis and Next Level Training for their support of our conference too. They're great sponsors of us and have supported us for many years.
Who's going? Is Rebby going to be there, or is Grant coming out for that? Robyn.
Rebby will be at conference. She's teaching 6 sessions on the Mantis, and then Mike Hughes will also be teaching on the SIRT pistol. He's doing an instructor development class. He's doing 6 different sessions for instructors or aspiring instructors to use the SIRT pistols for training.
Nice. Yeah, I thought I did see both of them on the list. That's awesome. Go ahead, Charlie.
Someone just asked here if we have a chapter in Massachusetts. That is John Colas from Pistol Practice. He's a great instructor.
Yes, we do. We have a couple of chapters in Massachusetts, and they can find them by going to agirlinthegun.org/chapter. There's a map there. There's a list of all of our chapters. They're by alphabetical by state. There's also a map you can get to at agirlinthegun.org. We have one in Cape Cod. We have one in Western Mass. We have a couple different ones in different areas of the states, and a couple just across the border in other states.
Right. It's not too far to go to see Tatiana up at Howells, right?
No, come hang out. It's a great range. We're quite partial. We like it.
It is a great range. It's been years since I've been there, but August 17th, is that when you got me coming up, Tatiana?
Yes. I twisted his arm just a little. Didn't take much. I'm going to come out and run the pepper spray instructor course for us up here at Howells. Psyched about having you back too.
It's going to be fun. I always like the last time I came up, I brought the family, and it's just so beautiful up there.
So you have, I was going to ask this earlier, you have a lot of the most amazing instructors, and I noticed that both of you travel around the country all year round, taking classes with these incredible instructors. And I know that Robyn, I think it's the end of the year, Robyn puts essentially a grateful list of, hey, here's all the stuff that I've done this year. And I scrolled down with all the instructors you worked and took courses with, and the list just kept going and going and going. That is
well, I can't ask our instructors to continue to train if I'm not out there training as well. So I really want to be a good role model for our girls. I want to let them know that I'm investing in that time too, that it's hard to get away. Everyone has a busy life, but it's worth it. And to keep your skills straight. I want everyone to match my hustle. I want them to inspire me to increase my hustle. I think the community thrives when we all work to do our best. So no one's going to outwork us. And I think all of our leadership team tries to live by example.
It's awesome.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
But that's also a really great way for me to meet instructors too. You know, when a lot of instructors will reach out and say, I want to come to your national conference. And if I don't know them or I've never seen them on the line, I'm a little bit hesitant because these are my girls. I'm very protective of our girls. Sure. You know, I don't want to just bring in an instructor that I can't vouch for the quality and the not just the material that they're offering, but their personality. Are they the right fit for these ladies that are coming out? Do they fit a Girl in the Gun culture? Is the curriculum challenging and high quality? We want it challenging. We want to be have really high standards, but is the culture very kind? We want it delivered in a way that allows people to have that ever student mindset, to want to keep going and want to keep growing, and not just say, you know what, this isn't for me and throw it in. So it's not just the material, it's the personality too. So by me going around and training with all of these great instructors, I get to see them firsthand on the line and know whether or not I can vouch for them and invite them to our events.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
That is really cool. That is. So Tatiana, what keeps you busy? Like you're up in Maine, but weren't you at TACCon recently?
Yes. Yep. I just came back from teaching at TACCon. I did 2 awesome programs. Unfortunately, we're supposed to be 3 sessions, but we had this ridiculous, like, natural disaster blizzard thing that hit. So I got there a little bit later, but I still made it. So I did the Take a Seat workshop, which is where we're tossing chairs like champions, which is the joke. There's some chair tossing, and then yoga with guns, which is non-standard firing positions. So we get everybody rolling around on the miserably mean gravel range. I never get a grassy range for that. I always get the pea gravel range, and everyone earns their bruises, but has a great time. So I have fun. I have fun teaching at TACCon. There's some very dynamic experiences many people don't have a chance to do in the course of their regular range practice. So it's an opportunity to do the kind of awkward, clunky stuff in a safe, controlled environment.
Well, that's great.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Tom Givens, Charlie, or Clint Macro and I are hosting Tom for his 3-day instructor class coming up in August in Western PA.
Excellent.
Western
Very
PA.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he retire? Or am I thinking of someone else?
No,
he's still going.
No,
he's still going.
Don't say it. No, it was David. Dave Spalding.
Yes.
Dave
okay.
Spalding and that's the funny thing. Once Dave retired, I said, I got to train with Moss and I got to train with Tom Givens. So those are the 2 that we hosted. We hosted Moss last year. Well, year before last year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So what?
I've trained with Mass and Tom, but I have not trained with Clint Smith, who is a bucket list for me. I hope to do that someday.
We haven't even had him on the show, so I need to have him on the show before he decides to retire and give up. I think they just sold the ranch, didn't they? I thought I got an email that they sold the ranch. Somebody bought the ranch.
I think I might have seen something like that. I got to tell you, I'm a little nervous to have him in the car. I think if I get lost, he'll kick my ass.
Like, don't you know where you're going?
Right? No, I don't. Ah!
Quit whining. Suck it up, Buttercup.
Ah! Oh my gosh.
That would be awesome. Oh, that's great. That's great. So I know you ladies are getting in gear for the event coming up next week. What do you have after the event? What kind of training courses are you teaching or going to after the event?
Well, my schedule is set for the year, so I'm all over the country. I go wherever Google tells me to go and get on whatever flight it tells me to go, and I show up and we do the thing. It's a great time. So I still have about a dozen classes between now and the end of the year after conference. The conference really is the biggest event of every year. TACCon is a huge honor to be invited to participate in that. That's another big one. But national conference is something specific and special, and to a scale and magnitude that can't be matched, right? And with a very specific audience that can't be replicated. So that's, like I said, it's the thing that recharges your batteries. It reignites your passion for the work, and it makes all of the energy that you put into it worth it. It also, like Robyn said, inspires so many ladies to get out there and train with folks like you, Matt, and all of our peers, because now they've met you, they've experienced, we've vetted you, they've touched the magic a little bit, and they want to go out there and, have the full experience. They want the 3-day program or the complete program, not just a sample. And we're very, very proud of what that does. So the work that I get to do around the country is largely because the Girl and a Gun community drives those enrollments nationwide. Not just for me, but for all of our guest instructors. And then Robyn and I are, always plotting and planning new wild and crazy things for the future. And so there's no downtime. What are you talking about, downtime? What? Just 5 minutes and we'll dream up some new, crazy, amazing thing to introduce and launch. That's the danger of being surrounded by people like Robyn. It's okay. I'm all right with it.
I gotta say, so it's only been 12 conferences that you've had, and you've only been around for 12 years, right?
My son is 14, so 13 years since I had my first handgun. Yes. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now I haven't been a part of a Girl and a Gun.
A Girl and a Gun. Yeah, I think you were at conference number 4, right? T or 3? 3.
Yep.
Okay. Conference number 3. And I guess let's go back to that. What Robyn, what inspired you to, was there an event or was there something that you just saw lacking in the industry for women? What inspired you to kind of start moving forward and coming up with the organization, but then also the conference?
Well, the conference was the brainchild of Juliana Crowder, who went to a range master class. And she thought, wouldn't it be great if more women would step into these classes? Because back then, a decade ago, we would go to classes and there would be no other women. We would be the only woman, or often if I went, I would be the only woman. And it was just a way for us to say, how can we get more women to go to these training classes and to go to real serious training? And so we thought if we could get these instructors to come to us and we could give them 3 hours with them to let them know what gear you need on the range. I mean, back then, you guys wouldn't believe the stories of ladies would show up and we'd say, you need your gun in a bag. And they literally bring it in a plastic grocery bag. Like, you said a bag. So we had to teach them the language. We had to teach them the etiquette. We had to learn the words that mean the things. And as Tatiana says, and we had to really start this community from the ground up. So the idea was, if we can bring these instructors and give the girls 3 hours with them, then they won't be afraid to go and take this more serious class. And I say more serious, just more formal, all guy, tactical. It's very intimidating back then. Now it's not a big deal. And it's pretty great when we go to a class and half of it is female, or even more than half. It's pretty awesome. But back then it wasn't the case. And we had to really change the culture of the industry. And I'm very proud for how we've been able to do that. I think a lot of people don't give us credit for the changes that have been made nationwide in that regard.
That's awesome. I've had people say, like, my force on force class or my low light, no light class, I've had people say, well, I'm intimidated to take the class. I really don't, I don't think I can, I could do the class. I don't think I'm good enough to do the class. And so that just resonated with me when you said that. And I'm trying to find a way to make people, when they read the description, I want them to understand what they're going to get out of it, because I wanted to meet new people and people that have got experience. So it's kind of hard to bridge that gap. And I don't want to shy away people that, need it more than some of the advanced people do.
For sure.
Yeah, we've been able to create that gateway for people to come in and to let them know that this is a class for them, that this is a community for them, that if a range has a Girl and a Gun banner, it's a family-friendly, female-friendly range, and it is a place for them. And a decade ago, that just wasn't the case. So I'm really proud of how diverse the industry has become, and how classes like yours are more accessible to ladies and approachable to ladies. A lot of the language in course descriptions has been changed to make it more welcoming, to make it a little less militaristic or law enforcement focused, to use regular everyday language that normal people use. We've had to really kind of create the industry terminology in that way, because it just didn't exist before.
It's awesome. Well, that's the beautiful thing about this industry is that, it kind of does ebb and flow and changes over time. I mean, back in the day when you're doing teacup and saucer and you're doing the Weaver stance and, look where we're at now. So the technology changes, the training changes because of the technology, and we get new people, new mindsets, new ways of thinking of things and looking at things that makes it change too, as far as the curriculum. So it's just, that's the one thing I love about the industry. I love that it's ever changing to keep up with how can we do this better to save lives more.
For sure. If anyone has any questions for Robyn or Tatiana, please put it in the comments section, because we can obviously see the comments that people make and read them, and we can pull them up, like this one here from Carrie Ann. She says, being part of this community has been the best part of her growth as an instructor. She has 73 women in her Armed Women of America chapter, and that's here in Massachusetts. So it's pretty incredible hearing her tell the stories. It's great stuff.
Yeah, so I love Carrie Ann. She's awesome. She's a great role model out there. Put in the work. And so it just goes to show how many women across all different communities and how we all work together and we encourage each other. And I'm really proud of everyone's success.
I like how we're working together with that Wi-Fi. We're doing really good, not to cut you off, Robyn. Oh, we are all professionals, because somebody who hasn't done this before would be like, we'd be lost if we hadn't done this before. So where are you headed to, Robyn? What do you have going on? I don't think we got that from you, and it might have been because of the lag of the internet. But what do you have coming up after the conference?
Well, actually, after the conference, I am actually taking a vacation, which I have not done in many years. Wow. So I'm a little bit shocked and very excited. I'm going to take a couple weeks off, and then I jump right back in and host our Drift Academy, which our Drift Academy is all vehicle CQB, vehicle bailouts, high-speed evasive driving, rollover recovery, drift recovery, and everything vehicle defense. It's pretty awesome. And so we host that in Virginia, and we'll have, I think, 45 girls coming out for that one. And wow. That is in June. And then in July, we host our big clays tournament. So for all of our shotgun girls who want to come to Fort Worth, we host our big clays tournament. It's all ladies NSCA registered shoot. And that's a lot of great fun too. It's a whole different community. So there's something at pretty much every month.
To the vehicle tactics stuff, I've missed near misses 2 accidents that I was able to avoid because of my law enforcement evac training. And it's crazy, because like the one accident was right shortly after me doing evac training. And then I did a refresher years later and almost had another accident. It's probably 7 years ago, the second accident, or not accident happened. And I owe it all back to the training that I had, being able to do emergency vehicle operations course for my law enforcement jobs. So anybody that's interested in stuff like that should do it. It's cool as heck, and the things you can make a vehicle do that you didn't think you can make it do is pretty astounding.
There was a question.
Yeah, I had been dreaming of that class for 4 years. I was trying to find a place where we could do it, because every instruction or track I approached, they would say, "Sure, what agency are you with?" And I said, "We're not an agency. We're just regular moms and minivans, and we want to learn how to do this." And they would say, "No, we don't have insurance for that." So finally, I found the great guys at RFH Tactical, and we go out to VIR in Virginia, the Virginia International Raceway, and they put it on for us. It's an incredible class, and you're right. It's all of those skills that you use every day. Everybody gets in their car every day. It's like the med skills, the light skills, the pepper spray skills. It's all the ones that people think we're all only about the gun, but it's really about the whole package of what it is to be empowered and armed woman.
You pop that one up, woman. You got to catch up, Charlie.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. Women on wheels. Wow. I love that. Fun fact too. And then we'll get to, I know you said you had a question that you saw Tatiana you wanted to talk about, but real quick, just Robyn, I actually did my evac training in a minivan.
I'm in a minivan this week.
Nice.
They put me in a minivan here in Grand Junction. So that was the last vehicle on the lot. And so I might have to try some of my skills on that.
Yeah, they're like, what are you driving? I go, a minivan. They're like, why? And I'm like, because I want to see if I can do it. And I did it. And I passed the course in a minivan.
Wow.
40 miles per hour going backwards. Yeah, that's anyway. So which question was it, Tatiana? I'll find it and pull it up.
Sure. We had someone write in about if we had any events for beginners in San Diego. And the answer to that is yes. Yes, we do. We have an incredible chapter in San Diego. Our facilitator is Dakota Adelphia. She's an outstanding instructor, a phenomenal shooter. She's affiliated with Filster Holsters, and she runs an amazing program for our A Girl and a Gun members out of San Diego. And you can find all of that information right on our website. You can reach out to her directly. And all of her events can be seen there as well.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Yeah, that question was from Eddie Sanchez. Eddie's one of our friends. I met him at Gun Rights Policy Conference in Phoenix a few years ago, and he's a big supporter of all of the gun stuff that everybody does, and he's also a guitar player, so he's a rocker, which is cool.
Where we leave off on? There you go. Pick it up.
Here we are. Our buddy Dave says, you haven't lived until you've successfully recovered a Greyhound bus from sliding near sideways on black ice at 45 miles an hour. Wow. That's crazy.
That's what Dave, living is, David. I don't know about that.
All right. So someone asks, it says, it looks like they're definitely a beginner if they have some suggestions.
Yeah, if you're a beginner, we have thousands of videos on our website that beginners can go to. A Girl and a Gun members have a whole video library of available content to them. Tatiana hosts a virtual discussion every third Thursday for our members as well on some basic fundamentals of marksmanship that gives everybody a little bit of knowledge before they go to the range on, what to expect and how things work and what to wear and all the things that you're thinking and all the things that may prevent you from just going and doing it. A lot of times people who are newer, they overthink it, and our chapters make it easy for you just to show up. We'll take care of the rest. You just show up with an open mind and we'll walk you through it. So just find a chapter near you and reach out to your facilitator and look at the next event and show up.
Sounds pretty simple.
And for the folks who are in areas that don't yet have a chapter, and I say don't yet because we are constantly adding chapters to the roster every month. There are chapters opening up all over the country. If you have access to a range and there isn't anything in your neighborhood, reach out to Robyn or I, and we can help start you down the path of perhaps negotiating with a range and building a relationship that might be wonderful to have a chapter at and what it takes to become a leader. Our chapter leaders are some of the most highly credentialed women in the country, and you don't have to necessarily walk in the door to us with that lineup of credentials. We will help you grow into that role if you're passionate and dedicated and interested in it. So we're happy to work with folks. For the folks who are seriously remote, and that's just not going to happen anytime soon, we also have a national e-chapter. So that is a virtual way for our members who are very remote to still have access to A Girl and a Gun and a digital community of other remote folks, and stay engaged and get all of the member benefits of membership. So we really have tried to eliminate every conceivable excuse for why you can't come and hang out with us. And, to the beginners, we have so much content for new folks. But if you've been doing this for long enough, you realize we're all beginners perpetually. Right? We just may have a slightly larger vocabulary, a few more hours on the range, but A Girl and a Gun has instilled this, forever learner, forever student mentality. And we really adhere to that. So regardless of where folks are in their progression, we have some folks who are like seriously decorated competitors as members. So it's for all skill levels. It's not just for beginners, but we have intermediate, I'll put air quotes around advanced, ways to participate and still grow your skill sets. We try to challenge everyone at an appropriate level.
Very cool. So speaking of levels, my sister Chris chimes in here and says the Spartanburg group has many level shooters and a lot of great learning, and they help each other a lot, which is awesome. I want to pull this question up. Somebody said, how do they find the first quarter match, and any advice to training for competition?
So Stephanie Schaefer is compiling our first quarter match results, and we will have those announced for you pretty shortly. So she has to get match results from all over the country and compile them. Every quarter we have a course of fire. And so once all of the scores are in, then we'll announce the winner. So it should be pretty soon. With conference coming, things might be paused, but hopefully Stephanie can announce that before we get into conference. As soon as she gives me the results, I publish them. So every quarter we have a course of fire. It's a great way. Our quarterly match is a great way to get into competition. It helps you learn range commands, how to use a shot timer, how to run a simple course of fire, from your everyday range where you always are at your girls' night out, at your indoor range, at every range can run our quarterly match. And so that's a really great way for ladies who are interested in competition to just learn how to work on the clock. That's a new skill for a lot of people, or how to run a clock if you want to help out at matches. And then of course, coming out on a Saturday or Sunday to shoot an IDPA or USPSA or ASI or ASI or all of the alphabet soup of sports that are out there. We have chapters that run them all. And so you can look up different articles on our website on how to get involved in competition. We do have our 3-gun match in the fall, which is our Fall Fest. It's the only all-ladies 3-gun match in the country. And preceding that, we have 3-gun University. So if you want to learn the sport of 3-gun, spend 3 days with us and we'll teach you the rules of 3-gun and how to play the game. And then we have a 2-day 3-gun match and a 1-day pistol match. So it's a lot of great fun. So there's something for everyone in a girl in the gun. So your chapters will point you in the right direction for competition as well. And that's another reason why we exist, is to make girl squads at the range. It's not just about that defensive class where we want to get more women in. We want to get more women on squads at the matches too. So we do it all.
That's awesome.
What if somebody doesn't have enough guns? We all don't have enough guns. I get it, but let's say they're relatively new. They have a handgun. They don't have a rifle. They don't have a shotgun. Are other people willing to let them borrow their gun?
I missed the question. Did you say what if somebody doesn't have enough guns?
Like what if somebody only has a handgun and they want to get involved, and this is all new. So if they don't have a rifle, if they don't have a shotgun, will some of the other ladies let them use their guns on the line?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now I'm tracking you. I have the internet problem. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes, we have. Like Tatiana said, we will take every excuse out of the book. So we have a lot of great relationships with our sponsors. So if you don't have a gun, we have a lot of range rental programs, or we'll work with our sponsors like Glock, and they'll come and do a Glock night. We call it speed dating, where you spend 5 or 10 rounds with each gun and you work down the line and you speed date each gun to find the right one for you. So there's a lot of different ways that we work with our sponsors and partners to make sure that ladies can have access to different guns and try different fits and different styles and makes and models. And then for our long guns, it's the same thing. At a lot of our events, like at our sniper school, if you want to learn long range precision rifles skills, we have our sniper school, and we have loaners for all of that. So you don't even need anything. Come out, and we have the optics and the guns, the 6.5 Creedmoor. We have Savage 110s. We have some Ruger Precisions, and we have a couple from Stag. So we have a variety of different long range guns that girls can use too to find the right gun for you. So it's a great way to find what make and model you might like, what fits your body, what fits your hands, what is the sport that you're interested in, and kind of learn a little bit more about it before you go home and make that investment into that sport or activity. Because some of those really do have a barrier for entry. 3-gun is a very gear intensive sport. And so a lot of times we'll share guns, we'll share gear. And 3-gun University is a good way for you to come into those classes and discuss the kinds of gear that you need to purchase in advance. And we work all year round to set goals for that, because you can't shoot a 3-gun match in October if you've never shot a shotgun or a rifle, or, so we start that discussion in January, and we say, what training do I need? What gear do I need to purchase? How can I budget my time and my training and my expenses in order to make sure that when October comes, I'm not sitting on the sidelines of my life. I'm actually able and ready to jump in. So we have a lot of programs in place for that.
Very cool. I just want to know when you're going to
throw this at conference. I think this year we have such generous sponsors. I think this year we're giving away over 80 guns. So in 4 days, we have a red bag, and we just pull names, and I call a name, and I'm like, you win a gun, and you win a gun, and you win a gun. And we're going to give away 80 guns in the next 4 days. somebody comes to one of our events, there's a pretty good chance they're going to go home with something great.
It's Robyn, the Oprah of guns.
There we go.
You get a gun and you get a gun. I just want to know when you're going to create a men's version of what you're doing for the women, because you got sniper classes, you got vehicle tactics classes, you got a conference, you got clay shooting. I'm thinking, man, the guy in a gun.
Nice try. I don't think it's going to work.
No, we get asked that a lot. We have the infrastructure for it. We have the team for it. We have the program for it. But here's the thing. Every night is guys' night at the range. Every night is guys' night. And so if we have to stay true to our mission. And as much as I love our guys, and we wouldn't be where we are without the support of the men in our world, our mission is women mentoring other women. We have to stay true to that.
For sure. Well, I'm glad I can ride on the coattails for some stuff. Steve's like, I'm behind you, man. See, there's another guy.
There's another guy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Too funny. We only have a few minutes. Yeah,
it is too funny. I think sniper school is what wins the guys over. When I talk about sniper school, when I say we're just regular moms with our ghillie suits shooting a mile and a half away, just regular mom stuff.
See, now sniper school to me sounds like too much math.
So at least it's not Common Core.
It's girl math. It's girl math.
No, New York State, it's 10.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead and close it.
I can count to 20 with my shoes off. All right. Well, before we button it up, if you have not gone to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and entered AGAG as the code, then you will not be entered to win the SIRT pistol or the Mantis X10, which we are going to be giving away. I don't know when, but
at the end of the month.
It'll be sometime at the end of the month. So we'll notify you of that. So please go there and please enter your info and put in the code AGAG. Tatiana, give us some parting words here, ma'am.
Oh, wow. I guess parting words are, if you have not yet gone and explored a girl and a gun, it's time. And if you're not a girl, and even if you don't have a gun, it's a great opportunity. We all know someone in our community or in our social circles who could use a boost of confidence, who could use a little bit more education and self-defense, because we do take real pride in the fact that it is more than just shooting. So for all of the women in your life, you owe them 5 minutes on the website to learn about what opportunities exist to make them safer, to keep them healthier, to keep them whole. And a girl and a gun, again, is women mentoring women. And we take that very, very seriously. So if you haven't, please check it out.
That's awesome.
Very cool. All right, Robyn, how about you?
How can I follow that? That's why she's the director of training. She says all that smart stuff. She's absolutely right. And we welcome everybody. We are the most welcoming community. If you're new to firearms or someone who is, we've all been new. Many of you know my story. I was strongly anti-gun for most of my life, and I never would have imagined this is where my life would be now. So everyone has a story, and everyone has a first point to learn. So just to know that all women are welcome. And there's a lot of information on our website. They can find a chapter near them, or they can just read the articles and learn some on their own, or be part of our e-chapter. For however much they want to put into it, they'll get out of it even more.
That's awesome. Well, it's always awesome having you guys meeting up with you guys out in the industry, the community, and such. Can't wait to see you guys next week and hang out some and learn from you guys. So thanks for coming, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you, ladies, so much for being on. It's always a treat to see you. It's always motivational to hear the both of you talk and hear about all things you're doing. It makes me realize that I'm perpetually just trying to keep up with everybody else. So it's great, and we hope that the conference goes well next week. Hope there's going to be a ton of ladies. It's going to be awesome, and Matt will be there, but I will be jealous and I'll be envious. So yeah, to close things out here, thank you all for tuning in and watching, and obviously thank you to Robyn and Tatiana for being on the show with us. But thanks to everyone else for tuning in. Last time, go to meetthepressers.com/giveaway and enter AGAG as the code. Matt, what shows have you been putting out recently?
I know Clint and I recorded with Barrett Kendrick, and if anybody hasn't seen my interview with Donald Trump Jr. and Cordova and Public Square, check that out. I did that at SHOT Show along with the John Lovell from Warrior Poet Society. So I got those interviews that we did at SHOT Show and a bunch of other ones too. So check those out. And who's been riding in your car, Charlie?
Last week I put out episode 200.
Nice.
200 episodes. I know. I had you guys on early on. Holy moly! I never thought I'd get this far. But my 200th episode was Michael Bain. I went out to. I met him in Loveland, Colorado, and we drove out to Estes Park to the Stanley Hotel. We talked about music on the way out there because this guy's had some, unbelievable experiences with a lot of country music folks. And then we talked about guns on the way back. So please check that out on YouTube and podcast form. And we thank you guys all for tuning in. Please check out Meet the Pressers on all of our social media. Please check out Riding Shotgun with Charlie and all of our social medias. And of course, check out A Girl and a Gun. And with that, I don't know when we're going to have a next show, but this is why you need to follow our social media so that you know when we're dropping a show next. And thank you guys all for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you very much.
Stay safe.